evening, starships and space stations, and welcome to another Edge of the Universe episode of Blood from a Stone, a tale of love and dread in RPG. My name's Philip, and I'm your Dreadmaster for this journey into the dark side of space.
You're doing great.
The dark side of space. Guys, space definitively has a dark side, by the way. Oh, my lord. I don't ever want to do a good intro. It's just the thing I've pledged to myself, and I think I'm doing a really good job so far. Joining me are some of our wonderful players here from the Blood from a Stone family. I'm actually going to introduce everyone tonight because this is tonight is a totally insignificant episode. I mean, they're all fun. But last week was our 50th chapter and a Friday the 13th. We had a record number of 13s. We rocked around the clock. We started there. We made it to here, but we went all the way. But next week is our landmark 1 year, 13 times 4, 52nd session.
Really?
It is.
Yeah.
I have something special planned. There's
the 27 is my favorite number.
Oh. Well, then everything is Kismet, my goodness. Also, it's the opening day of, I think, it's the premiere of Obi-Wan and of Stranger Things Season 4, so it's a big day. So, the internet will break, and it will cap off with us.
Everyone's waiting for our day.
Everyone will then be waiting for.
27 is the best number because it's 3 to the third power.
Hey. If there's one thing you don't have to convince me of, it's exponents. I'm definitely a fan. So, yes. That is kind of what's going on next week. So, to that point, I want to introduce Liv, who's playing Dahlia tonight. Liv was from our original core cast of this game. She was here session 1. And that's fun. And I think you were the last person still in the game from the core beginning, actually. Because I think everyone else has phased out to be more recurring or / gone over to a dragon game.
That's true.
And we also have Lauren, who will be playing Elutella, and Zane, who will be playing Elekie. They joined us pretty early on, actually. I think Lauren, you probably were there by session 3 or 4.
That's why I was like, but Lauren has been here the whole time. I'm like, no, wait, first.
Lauren guested early on, and then Lauren and Zane both guested just session 6 or something. And
I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm like glitter. You can't get rid of me.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You're not like glitter because we wouldn't try to get rid of you. And also, you're not bad for the environment.
There is biodegradable glitter.
Yes, but who uses it? I understand some people do, but a lot of people don't, is my point. I'm sure that any glitter you're using is good for the environment. That's why I'm saying you're not glitter, because you're not bad for the environment. This is a very circuitous compliment I'm trying to, and failing to give. To Liv, that rhymes.
Let me be self-deprecating.
No, I'll be self-deprecating. So yeah, we have a very, that being said, what's going on in this game? I love planning for a landmark chapter 52 when I have no idea what's going to happen. So let's have this session happen so I find out already. When last we were with our intrepid space age explorers, Rawlings and Dahlia, who had come from other realms, they had sort of made it to Rocket Base 95 after being abducted by the Velderal. A Velderal named Elekie had escorted Rawlings aboard Rocket Base 95 to kind of explain some of what he had learned about these other dimensions of space or whatever was being described, these so-called domains. But in doing so, Rawlings mentioned something called the Awareness, at which point some robots went crazy, started attacking him, started attacking your vessel. With a daring escape, thanks to Elekie as well as Dahlia, in a robot body, because she is a brain in a jar that's now inside a robotic kind of like duplication of her own body. Dahlia managed to get the computer core out of the ship, which seemed like a good idea. And they sort of made it to a smaller sort of sub-saucer that detached from the bottom. Alekia tried to pilot this through the mounting Dreadstorm that followed, in which... through the horror surge that followed, in which a bunch of razor ants came crawling out and attacking everyone, but then the subsequent Dreadstorm that was triggered therein, in which point the marshes of the grave spread into Rocket Base 95 through the very vents of that ship, filling it with brackish, murky water, eels who can talk, and a lot of kelp, I think. I'm trying to remember if there was any other notable thing. I know there was an eel who really thought he knew Alekia for a moment. And Alekia responded by slicing him with his tentacles, and the eel responded by cursing Alekia. Don't think I haven't forgot that. In the process, Elatella was sort of badly injured, not once, but once, escaping from the space station, twice when razor ants were chewing her up. As the place sort of flooded, Rawlings kind of instructed Dahlia that the only thing that matters is protecting this computer core and him. But Dahlia decided to, she managed to put Elatella's unconscious body up on kind of like a little ridge up at the top of this thing as the water was rising up. She also put Alekia up there. She put the computer core up there. And then she fought through the water, opened the door into the vacuum of space, which flash froze the water with her in it, as well as various eels frozen in the water. The ship then crash landed, I said on a green planet, and it was on a green planet, but none of you were aware of that because you were too busy being inside of the spaceship crashing. That is where we ended last session, with the cracking of ice, the impact of a vessel, Elatella's life, that moth woman of Rosera 6 in the balance, Alekia hoping that he could complete his mission.
That was at Rosera 5.
I'm almost positive it's Rosera 6. If it is not, my God, I'm so sorry.
Oh no, you're right. It is.
It is Rosera 6.
But when we were texting, it was Rosera 5, actually.
Understood. I'm very sorry. So, with that, I mean, it's interesting. I believe you. I believe that I could have said that in there. I don't think it would have been Rosera 5 because the Rosera system's 5th planet there wouldn't be moth women from it. It wouldn't support that kind of life. But anyway, in any case, with us on this vessel, let us now read the invocation for chapter 51 of Blood from a Stone. Oh, this is a fun one. Should I do it in the accent? She has a weird accent. Should I do it in the voice? I'm going to do a little of her voice.
Of course.
I'll do it slightly in her voice. Let's see if any of you...
We will never not tell you to do an accent.
That's fair. I don't remember how she says the first half of the line, but it's... We'd better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly. Anyone?
Oh, wait.
I know.
I'm double dipping on franchises with last week, actually.
Dang. It's not Poltergeist?
The name of the character who says that is Newt.
So it's an alien reference again.
It is.
Oh,
So that's from Aliens. That's what
Aliens.
the says.
Okay.
They mostly come at night.
Mostly. I haven't
It's
seen
like-
aliens as much.
Ripley's
I've
like,
actually
I'm sorry,
seen
Newt.
Alien the most.
Right before that is when Bill Paxton's shouting, "Game over, man! Game over!" Oh, that's a good...
Okay.
Alien and Aliens are really good movies.
They're very good movies.
Anyway, friends and neighbors, let's get into this, and where we're going to start actually involves me rolling a single d6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Elutella.
Yes.
You're unconscious. You feel a little bit of pain. You feel a little bit of jostling. Something is very wrong. But you hear a voice. It is directly in your mind. It is speaking in a language you don't understand, and yet the meaning of it could not be clearer. This voice is simply saying, drown. Drown.
Can I attempt to speak back with my mind?
Sure. You can think really hard.
I will think really hard.
Okay.
No.
The voice says, drown and dominate.
I will, to the best of my ability, concentrate and think, clarify. Please.
Drown or die. Drown and dominate. Elatella, at this point, you're slightly coming back to consciousness, and the main thing you feel is tremendous physical pain. Can you please make a physical roll for me?
Yes.
You have not yet refreshed power cubes, my friends. You'll find some shortly, but as of now, you have none.
None of us?
A 2.
And I got a 1 on my dread die.
Well, if you have a 1 on the dread die and you only have 2 dice, you have rolled a 0. So as Elutella, you open your eyes and you feel the physical pain in your body, and you understand that you are mortally wounded.
Yes.
You with your 4 eyes, because you do have multiple eyes and higher senses, and like your sort of face mask is a bit cracked. You're sort of looking out at the ship and you see ice everywhere. You think that you see that Rawlings guy kind of in his suit lying motionless. Alekier is like barely starting to stir. You think you're like, you must have been by the crash thrown up to the top of the thing. You see ice and feel cold all around you. You know that you are about to die.
Is there a body of water close by?
Make a
Perhaps.
sense roll.
Ooh. That will be a 9.
With a 9, glancing around, you feel there is like a larger collection of water sort of below you, and as you with the very last of your strength sort of turn your head, you can see that most of the bottom of the ship is actually like frozen over into like a solid ice chunk.
So the water that is below me is frozen solid. If I were to
make another physical roll, you don't even think you can move.
Okay.
You'll need
Oh no.
What'd you roll?
A 12?
So that means you rolled 2 6s?
Yes.
Okay, so roll your dread die, and if you roll a 1 right now, it's the coolest thing.
Oh no. Well, it was a 5. So
5. So you roll a 17. Yes. So basically, you with your dying breath, you do nothing after this. You sort of like shove one hand, maybe flutter a wing, and you fall face forward into the ice.
Yes.
Your face mask cracking. Your face sort of pressing against the ice.
Good night, everyone.
Dead.
No.
R.I.P.
It's so much to keep her alive.
Sorry.
After a moment. Well, actually, that's all we know for now. Alekia, you managed to come to. You hear some crashing and falling behind you. Would you please make a sense roll?
$17.
With a 17,
18, I'm sorry.
with an 18, you rather quickly kind of get your bearings, old Alekia, and you sort of glance about and you see, oh, okay. Well, Rawlings, he's like crumpled up on one side up here in the top. There's like shards of ice sticking up below from kind of like the circle under this little area where you've all been sort of cramped in the top of the saucer. Rawlings, with a 17, actually, you would need a 15 or higher. So yeah, with a 17, you can tell that he is breathing, but he seems like in pretty bad shape. Elutella is like contorted, face down, face mask broken, like in the ice itself. The computer core is up here. I'm actually going to roll a constitution for the computer core. It is still seemingly intact. You don't see the robot anywhere, but the ice is very thick. Frozen solid with a lot of silt and stuff in it. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Is the ship is still, is it not broken open? Ship is still intact? Like, can I see outside?
With a 17, you can see above
18.
you that there's, or an 18, so sorry. With an 18, yes, you know everything. No, yeah, I would say that as you kind of glance up, you don't think the ship is like split down the middle, but it probably, you see some like pretty serious bending, but it is not broken open. I would imagine that the top of a saucer would have some sort of windowed area you guys have been put into. It seems reasonable for a saucer-looking thing. So you sort of can see out of it that you are on some very green-looking planet, dark green. It doesn't seem to be. It doesn't appear to be particularly like forested, but it seems green in color.
I want to look at the computer core, see if it's intact. And
excellent.
Try to
go ahead and just make a technical roll on the computer core, which I guess for you is just 3Ds.
Oh, 3D, yeah. 4. Nothing special.
4?
It's a 4.
A 4 on 3D. Seemed fine. You accidentally break a switch off of it, and you're like, "Let me turn this on." That must have been a, but you don't see huge cracks aside from the thing you just broke off. Everything seems fine. Dahlia. Oh wait, you're chewing. We could go.
I'm good.
Okay, Dahlia. You froze. There, kind of like you saw the eels sort of like looking at you before they froze and died. With this position, as you like opened the thing up, your sensor shut off. Your mind was still intact, of course. And you sort of saw nothing, and whatever you were thinking about there, whether it was, how fun it would be to grab a malted milkshake with a Russian bodybuilding exchange student, or if it was the roar of the crowd when you deliver a really good, performance, or maybe somehow combining those. The point being, after a few moments of thought, your sensors in a real analog, come back on, and though you were still sort of frozen solid, you now can see that you're just staring at ice. There seems to be some light not too far beyond you.
Can I use my laser eye beams to melt the ice?
I thought you'd never ask. Please make a laser eyes roll.
Yay! It's only 2 dice, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, they didn't teach you. Since you're not a proper robot, like, they didn't teach you how to use that. This is just you sort of figuring it out.
Figuring out how to use my laser eyes. All right, here we go. Okay, that is 11.
And was
I get
your...
to explode. I get to explode.
Yes, if that one was...
17. Hold on.
Wait, you get to explode again. Yeah.
Again? Okay, 19.
Excellent. So, with a 19, as Dahlia, just with her laser eyes, just kind of... were kind of the shot from outside shows that all these sort of shards of ice kind of within sort of melt away, and Dahlia kind of just basically does a good job of basically clearing out the space completely ahead of her. You are now free of the ice. You're sort of able to step out of it. The interior of the ship seems frozen solid, but Dahlia, you take a couple of steps onto a hard green, rocky, sort of asteroid cragged surface of a planet. The stars are bright and vivid above you. What is your sense score? Actually, yours is probably not bad because it's under dreadful.
I don't have a sense score.
It would be at the bottom. Okay, then it's just if it's it would be you have 4 because it's just your dreadful if you don't have a special one. So with a 4D, no roll would be required. That your just basic internal sensors are letting you know that the atmosphere here is thin but breathable for most humanoid types. Okay. Radiation levels are high, but within parameters, largely because it's such a thin atmosphere. Sort of like stellar radiation is just hitting you pretty hard, but it's nothing that you wouldn't want to vacation. You could maybe vacation here. Don't buy. But sort of as you sort of stepped off the ship free, getting your bearings, you turn back and you do see that the vessel has a pretty serious sort of crack in the underside, the side opposite where you are, which is where like the impact really happened, does seem to be pretty broken up. And it is still currently filled with sort of flash frozen ice. Alutella.
Yes.
Your latent body heat having melted just a bit of the ice where your face made contact. You're unaware of this because you're dead.
Oh, of course.
But the ice seems to be where someone to be focusing on it. The ice seems to be melting a little faster than one would expect. And the trajectory of the sort of melted, brackish, salty, briny, silty water sort of seems almost purposefully to sort of snake up your sort of soft face through whatever nostrils it can find, touching whatever it is, whatever kind of, I was told they don't have lungs, but whatever sort of breathing organs the moth women of Raceris 6 possess, as the water finds itself there.
Reasonable, yes.
Elitala, you awaken, sitting in a dark, cold, cavernous chamber carved out of cyclopean stone. Stones that seem to dwarf the size of anything you've ever seen before. There are dark, green fires burning out of massive braziers that are probably 50 feet in size. Two kind of about 100 yards this way, 200 yards that way, a couple closer right in front of you. You seem to be seated on some kind of chair. One made of stone, carved roughly. You see that there is something ahead of you. But to try to behold it, it's almost mind-boggling that something that can fill your entire frame of vision could possibly be a single entity. Could you please make a resist fear roll? It is under senses.
Yes. Oh dear. That is a 10. 2 5s.
A 10, 2 5s. All right.
Yes.
We'll go with it. We're gonna say a 10 is we're gonna say a 10 is gonna be decent enough in this case to you do scream, Elutella. It's not quite. I was wrong. That's still an easy. You would at least need a moderate here. You try to scream, but you find that your mouth is full of thick water. In fact, you realize that what you are resting in is entirely thick, murky water. You are not in air.
Am I experiencing any pain? Or any of the same pain? Okay,
No,
interesting.
you're not.
Am I allowed to make rolls at this moment or not?
Of course. Yes.
May I?
Yeah, please. Yeah. What would you like to do?
I would like to make an analyze roll on the environment.
Please make an analyze roll. Ooh, yeah. You could do good on this, actually, couldn't you? Hey, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Roll a 16 or higher.
I will do my best. That is a 10. That is an exact 16.
And no shenanigans with the wild die?
No shenanigans.
Beautiful.
That is a 4.
Love it. Beautiful. So with a 16, because it is so fresh in your mind, so fresh, so clean,
Yes.
you are not in Sector 95. That Rawlings man was talking about other realms of existence.
Can I, when I realize this, gasp and take in air? Or
You may.
take in...
Your face fills with whatever that sort of stuff is. A voice now enters your mind, and you see the entire mountainous thing before you, these tentacles and thousands of eyes that are looking at you as it shifts. It sort of says into your mind, "You are drowned."
I suppose. So, I suppose I am, because this is not air around me. Where am I?
At my house.
I do appreciate your hospitality. I am just rather concerned with whether or not I am able to exist for a prolonged period of time in this water.
You are dead.
Oh. Well, how unfortunate. How am I speaking to you? Is this some sort of a soul that has transcended my realm and transferred into another, perhaps?
Yes.
Ah.
Your soul is mine. You will dominate in my name. Say my name.
Oh, well, I don't believe that I'm familiar with your name, though this is a lovely estate from what I can tell.
I want you to make a recall information. It's a mental roll for you, so just 4D.
Okay. Oh boy. Oh, 12, 18. But I did roll a 6 on my dread die.
So roll it again.
Okay.
Yeah. You keep forgetting that is good.
Okay, yes. Well, because anything dreadful, I'm afraid of. That was a 5. So
a 23.
23.
You know that you were not in your domain. You know.
Yes.
Rawlings was telling you about how those other domains have other rulers, masters.
Indeed.
Now, I don't believe he told you the name of any of the others.
No.
Though he knows them. But somehow, and Alekia, meanwhile, as you are looking over the computer core, you see dead Elutella. One of her wings flutters and lands on Rawlings' shoulder. And Elutella,
Yes.
beyond a wall of mist, you learn the name Ugeltlur. And we can say that you pronounce it expertly, if you would like to.
Wait. Ooh, say it again.
Ugeltlur. I will put it in our chat here for you. It is listen guys, when you're going Lovecraftian, sometimes what you do is you just roll one of these rings that have all the letters on it, and then you take out the letters that would make it more pronounceable.
Ah. Okay, pretend this is perfect, but Ugeltur. Did my best.
He kind of this mountainous tentacled-eyed thing in front of you seems to like ripple in recognition, and you hear these susurrus of voices from all around you. At this house, kind of just shuddering around.
Yes.
Ugeltlur says, Thrall, anoint my new disciple.
Oh.
You notice
Yes.
that down in the depths below you are various spectral forms. One of them, sort of fish-like, strange, swims up to you. This is a dead thing, still in service for eternity, to this entity who has now laid claim to you. It seems to, however, carry a spectral amulet or curio, just some object that it's carrying. It's almost glowing. This thing comes up to you. Zane, would the spirit of Denk the Chosen like to say anything to Elutella as it hands this? He could say a word or two if he'd like.
Welcome to the depths below.
Oh, Denk.
I had no idea.
That was
Perfect.
amazing. Oh my gosh.
Elutella, do you say any? I guess she just accepts whatever the sort of glow is.
I will say thank you and accept. I do.
We shall be together for a long time.
Ah.
As he sort of drifts back into this darkness, he's claiming you'll be together a long time. With this glowing in front of you, you begin to feel tremendous pain in your body. As
Ow.
kind of the injuries that you had been feeling a moment ago as you sort of, came to within the vessel. The mind of this creature before you, this elder thing, as it speaks to you, it says, "You are in the home of one who, by your puny understanding, I am aligned with. Serve them. Dominate for them until you are recalled to the marshes of the grave. Serve my ally. Serve the awareness.
Forgive me. Say it again.
Ugeltlur.
Forgive me, Ugeltur. Is that perhaps the only way that I might be able to survive, so to speak? I understand that I have perished. However, is that the only way that I can proceed to exist in a conscious state?
Serve me. Serve the awareness. Dominate. At this point, Elatella, the pain becomes unbearable.
Ah!
As you scream like a very weird person.
Like a moth would, you know? They're not
Suddenly, the pain is gone, and Elutella, wounds completely healed. Alekia, you see her like kind of gasping up. Her helmet is completely cracked, but her spacesuit is kind of torn, but and it's probably bloody or ichory, whatever's inside of a, I don't really know what's inside of a moth woman. Hey now, if I.
Oh no.
In any case, as you sort of push yourself up and kind of sort of breathe in air, you do cough out just a little bit of this like thick water that kind of hits the ice and just lays there darkly.
Can I analyze the water that just was
I do think that a mothwoman of Rosaris, like scientist, upon revivifying with her wounds healed, that is the first thing she would do. So yes, please analyze the water.
Thank you. Oh dear. 11. That is a 16 with a 1 on the dread die.
So remove the 1 and then please remove the highest other roll that you have.
Well, that is very mean to me. So 5, 6, 7, 9.
So yes, so you had a 6 in other words.
Yes.
Yeah, so it goes from a 16 to a 9 because it's a rough game. All 4 of your eyes are like wincing with like the pain and disorientation. You don't have a good read on it. You're like, that intense pain you felt, that drowned sensation you had is just gone. And now you seem to just be alive. You can unclick your mortally wounded box and everything.
Oh.
And Alekia, you see her sitting up as you're analyzing the thing, and Rawlings is still over there motionless.
I mistook you for dead.
Well, as did I, but with many things, even in science, things can be unexpected. Unexpected occurrences can happen. Things that you cannot perhaps explain without further research. Perhaps.
What happened to your wounds?
I don't know. I'm not completely aware, but it appears that they have been healed in some way. Perhaps there are some curative properties in the waters.
Did you go to the other side?
The other side.
When a warrior dies, they go to the other side. Where?
Oh, yes, I have heard of places such as Heaven or Stovacor or other places in other alien spiritualities. Perhaps. I'm not sure, but your brain synapses tend to go haywire when you are on the verge of death, so perhaps that is what happened to my brain and perhaps my body.
Was it glorious?
Was it glorious? Do I get to decide?
Do I get to believe her? Do I have a
we will actually, as Elitella considers that strange thing, we will kind of return to Dahlia because you actually are outside of the vessel from them, kind of cut off from them.
I don't hear them at all.
You don't hear them, although we could. I guess my question is, what are you doing upon sort of stepping out, realizing the thing is breathable, seeing that the ship is pretty ruined? What would you like to do?
I would be evaluating the surroundings to see if they're safe.
Okay, cool. Make a general. Okay, I'm gonna phrase it to you like this, Robot Dahlia. You can roll a mental to simply analyze the situation. That would be 2 dice you'd roll.
Okay.
Or I would allow you to make an insight roll, which would be a sort of feelings vibe. Obviously, you're not going to get hard science, but you can kind of get a vibes check on the place, and that would be 4D with your dreadful.
I will do the 4D.
Okay, so you kind of just are like, yeah, sure, rocky ground, but like, what's the energy of this place?
Okay.
Is it like Atlanta in the 90s, or is it Atlanta now?
I don't know enough about Atlanta in the 90s to understand the distinction.
It wasn't a place movie stars hung out.
Okay. We are at 10, 13, 14. With a 3 on the dread die.
14. Aw, nerds. Alright, fine. Dahlia.
Yes.
This planet with a 13, you feel like you're being watched.
Oh boy, okay. We're being observed.
Something is out there. Your sensors don't pick up your sort of more rudimentary sensors, but you have this sort of general dreadful sense that this is probably not a safe planet.
Okay. Great. Cool. So we want to get off the planet. Damn it. The ship is unsalvageable.
To be perfectly honest, that's probably a question for like flyer people. It certainly looks banged up. If this was your car, you would be like really worried about how much it was going to cost to repair. I'll also say that because you do have a pretty high sense, you are beginning to hear some voices from within, like on the other side of the ice. So you think the people who you put up there, maybe they are sort of coming to at this point. Yeah.
Okay, so then I'll go back and try to find them.
Cool. Just roll because you got them robot arms. Just make a physical. Just make a 4D roll with you just as you just start trying to break ice and climb your way sort of through it.
Oh, the ice is impeding me?
Exactly.
Okay.
You're blocked off from them. You burned yourself free out the door. Uh-oh.
I rolled a 1 on the dread die, so I have to get rid of the highest one, right?
And the 1. It's really mean, yes.
So I rolled a 6.
So, Elekie and Elitella, you hear distantly the sounds of like scraping and banging. We'll chalk this up to Dahlia is like using some technique from some show she was in. She's using some like stage combat style. So she's like slapping the ice, but like making
dramatically.
Sure she's like, how dare you?
1, 2, 3.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, is that what we perceive? We know it's her, or we just hear some sounds?
You hear sounds trying to break through below you. Or break the ice below you.
Who goes there?
You don't get a response. She wouldn't hear that. You kind of hear this crunching sound. I mean, what is below you is thick, full ice. No sound is probably going to go through that.
And there's no getting through that ice at this point unless it's broken through. Is that accurate?
Correct. Yes. I mean, you are more than welcome to try to break it. You have tentacles and a gamma ray.
Yeah.
And I guess Rawlings' body, if you just want to smash it with that. I would not recommend that last one, but I'm just telling you what's around you.
Yeah, I think just hearing the sound, want to be ready for, whatever's out there. But I also do want to start to break through the ice.
Okay, cool. How are you going to do that?
I'll use my tentacles.
Okay, cool. Make a tentacle roll to try to, octopus breaks ice sheet. That's what we've got going on.
19.
With a 19, you actually, you do manage to, you're just slithering the tentacles through every crack, every little crevice and winding them and you're, tossing up big, thick chunks of it. You actually pull after a few things. Dahlia, you begin to see some movement like through the ice on the other side. It's probably like 5 or 6 feet you guys are sort of digging through together. But, Elekia, you do cut through some, and you find that there's a bunch of like frozen, solid, dead eels that you're also like pulling out of it. Kind of like cutting them in half with your tentacles as you slice through.
I pick one up and say, "A handsome race," and I continue to dig.
Understood. So as you will sort of say that in that case with your roll, that and Dahlia's kind of just you bastard, I trusted you. You do eventually see that there is a robot on the other side of the ice. The robot, Dahlia, who, is another one of was on your vessel, that she's kind of trying to slap her way through, and eventually, Dahlia, you see the tentacles
just slapping the ice dramatically.
You see she's my sister! How could you?
How dare you! Oh, that stings!
Get a hold of yourself.
Yeah, but eventually you do see Veldurel tentacles from the other side, and Alekia breaks it apart, and there is now a passage between.
You're alive.
Oh,
I mean,
she's a robot, so technically she is aware.
a little rude, don't you think?
Well, it's scientifically accurate.
I'm still a human brain.
Oh, I was not aware. I do apologize. Human android.
Oh yeah, you two haven't actually met.
Her life. Saved her life multiple times.
Yeah.
And I actually met. Whatever.
Has Dahlia and Alekia met?
Yes, she was on your ship. I mean, I doubt you guys have like chatted because you're a warrior and she was a prisoner. But now she's not a prisoner. They gave her a body.
A truly heroic act, saving the group.
Yes. Wait, was I aware that she saved me, or I was?
You were unaware. You were out at that point.
Oh. Did you have a part in protecting me? Because I woke up on an area in which I was not familiar, and then I had not gotten
Yes,
it.
that was me. Can I attempt to like? How do I put this?
No.
You want to
Can I
just
like try to endear them to me? Like, what do I do?
I'm gonna give you. Yes, I'm gonna give you. Actually, this would not be deceive. You're not lying. But let's try manipulate, which is a.
But I was gonna say, is it a
Yeah.
okay.
Roll a manipulate roll.
Roll a manipulate roll. We'll see how much I can make them love me. Yo, I get to explode. All right, so that's 11, 16, 18, 20, 23.
Both of you make insight rolls to resist being manipulated.
And I didn't save their lives. It's not really manipulation.
No, it's not. But
I just want them to love me.
yeah, 8.
Love
Yes.
me. Give me your applause.
7, 8.
Both of you do realize that Dahlia is it's complicated for you, Elatola, because you just seemed to be saved by some other thing. But Elatola, you feel like you owe a lot of people right now. But this human-brained, sexy robot lady seems to be, like really went above and beyond and risked her life and her very flesh, which she doesn't even have anymore, but she still risked it for you. And she's like, basically no one has ever suffered more than this woman. It's amazing.
I have been pulled out of my body and separated from my love and taken galaxies away. And still I found time to save you.
I do appreciate it very, very, very much. And as much as my little mop heart can, I'm not a hugger, but I will
Tap my room.
I will tap her on the shoulders in a sign that I have seen human and humanoids do. So I appreciate you very much. Thank you very much, alien, robot human-brained android. What is your name?
Call
Do you
me
go by-
Dahlia for short.
Dahlia. Ah, yes, I will refer to you as such from
Warrior's name.
this point on.
Thank you.
I'm Elotella.
Nice to meet you, Alatella.
You as well. And once again, I do appreciate your saving me, and I will.
Yes, it was a pleasure to save your life.
Thank you.
But I don't. Unfortunately, I fear we're not very safe here on this planet. And
Oh, I don't feel that we are safe anywhere.
A true statement indeed.
that is accurate. We should attempt to leave. I'm not sure if this ship is quite spaceworthy. Does anyone know?
I can check.
Very well. If you're going to check, give me a repair roll. It's under technical. Elotella.
Can I make an astrometrics roll to see if I can perhaps surmise where we may be in
Sure.
12.
With a 12. You don't think the ship is unsalvageable. You don't know that you'll have the tools you need. The engines are there's some damage to some of like the engines and drives. It's nothing that you couldn't like repair if it was, if you were like in a proper dock or something. Doing it here will require a lot of like work, and you are leaking certain kinds of fuel, so you may need to find some fuel. Elotella?
I rolled a 1 again, and I removed the first die, and I got 16.
So
or the highest die.
Okay. So you
And what
really
I-
should have had way higher. I'm sorry.
Yes. It was okay.
With a 16, which I think puts you right in.
It was a 6 that I rolled on the highest one. So
Wow. So you had 7 more than that. Well, at least it was that 3. You had those other 3 in there somewhere, because otherwise you would have triggered an instant horror surge. Had you rolled a 13 after taking a 1 in the top die away. That's like the coolest thing you can do. But
Yes.
with a 16, that is actually a difficult. So I will say you are unfamiliar with this planet, but you are you certainly traveled a good distance from Rocket Base 95.
do I get any special senses that I was bestowed with by the glowing?
As of now, you just seem to be alive.
Okay.
Elekie. Speaking of your sort of repairs and the sort of like the ship hypermatter or whatever, dilithium crystals that are sort of not in there. You do find 4 power cubes. Elotella, as you're looking at the stars, you also find 4 power cubes, which you can kind of put in your thing. And Dahlia, you regenerate 4 power cubes for, I don't know, you find 4 power cubes. However, just give yourself 4 power cubes. That's the point.
I had 3 left over.
I have a replicator system.
Add them. You have a replicate. Yeah, sure. First, yeah, you used it up, but you got this. So, point, just so you guys are aware, power cubes, they have no cap. You can have as many power cubes as you accrue, but you sort of just get them early at each session. I'll be like, hey, look, power cubes. I guess it's an hour in, but you know what I mean. So
good.
As you all sort of like get your bearings, Elekia, you think you are going to need certain supplies to repair the vessel. Elotella, you are not sure where you are, but you know that you it probably is just a thing where you're like I really should be able to tell this, but my head is just pounding.
Yes. I was dead. I am allowing myself grace, which normally I wouldn't in the lab. However, I have just died.
You were technically dead.
Yes.
Yes.
I must have suffered some brain death, which is understandable considering what I saw. But yes.
What did you see?
Oh, just fleeting spiritual things from alien spirituality.
The other side.
See
like I said.
a Russian woman, did you?
Oh, no. What is Russian?
Never mind.
Well, yes, I did see a creature that I am unfamiliar with, which is why I think it was just my brain going haywire, considering it was dying.
I have unfortunate news about the ship. I cannot fix it with the implements that I currently have. We must seek tools and fuels.
Tools and fuel?
You fools.
Ah, that was a rhyme. Yes.
I do appreciate the arts.
Perhaps we
I can say the same.
the arts to the artists. But what exactly do you need as far as tools and fuel? Exactly.
Philip, are the things that I need, do I surmise that I might be able to find them somewhere on this planet?
It would, if provided there is any kind of like settlement or base on this planet, you could potentially easily find what you're looking for. If this is a completely desolate, deserted planet, it's going to be tougher, but with some good rolls and ingenuity, you guys might be able to, like, oh, cool, we get enough of the ore to at least get ourselves in orbit, and then you can, radio the Velderal for help or whatever once you're out of the planetary interference. Sci-fi.
We must find civilization, and the ship will be easily repaired.
I think we should be wary and very careful. I do not feel that the planet here is very safe for us.
No place is truly safe, but we must face our fears and look them in the eyes. We shall proceed.
Ilekie, I do have a query for you, if you will. Are you familiar with this world? It seems to be wet, and you seem to be properly equipped for moisture.
Philip, am I familiar with this world whatsoever, as I may be properly equipped for moisture?
You are familiar with this world, but as you look out upon this planet, what you see is barren green rock, thin atmosphere. You see no moisture of any kind.
I thought it was ice. Oh, it's in the... I'm so
The
confused.
ice.
Is in the ship.
Elitella would be very confused by this.
Okay. Okay. Good.
And in fact, if you'd like to ask them, you certainly can and perhaps should.
Ask them what about the planet? Where did this water come from?
Where did the water come from?
No. Someone rolled a 13.
If Ilekie and Dahlia, if you guys are going to explain to her what happened, you would basically explain that as you were traveling, fighting off those razor ants, water started pouring. This thick, silty water started pouring out of all of like the vents in the vessel, filling it up, and it contained eels and fish and all sorts of strange stuff.
I was here while you were explaining it, but in my head, we were. Never mind. You know what? Just.
Yeah.
I'm glad Elitella is confused as well.
Yeah.
So this water is not from this planet on the outside. Oh.
Affirmative.
Well. Are the ship's scanners working? Or is it just dead in the water?
At present, they're not active. Trying to specifically repair them would be an easier task.
I am fairly adept at repairing technical devices. So I can attempt to do that unless I can't, because he already attempted to.
He was kind of just repairing the ship overall. He was just kind of analyzing it. If you would like to try to repair that specifically, please go ahead.
Yes, I would.
I would like to oversee what she's doing.
Absolutely. Not
I
letting
do.
A 19. Great. 19's very good. With a 19, you are actually able to get like the local sensors pretty good, into fairly good shape. And you activate them. Please make an analyze roll for me as you look.
Yes. Okay. Damn it. That's a 1 on the dread die.
Okay.
In total, I got 17.
And that is also removing the highest other dice?
No. So that's 11. And then I remove the 1 as well?
Yeah.
So 10.
With a 10. 10 isn't easy. So basically you do a brief analysis. You do actually get a ping of some kind of like sensor station somewhere, but kind of that seems to be like you know, a few clicks away, whatever. We'll use sci-fi terms. But there's a larger area beyond that feels like utterly like you have no idea what the sensors just reading seem completely anomalous. You're worried that even though you think you broke it really well, or you repaired it really well, something must still be broken because you're getting such a wrong reading that doesn't make sense because your analysis seems perfectly fine. But you do get one ping kind of off in a direction, but beyond that, it seems like something is very strange on the sensors. It's just picking up nothing.
Well, yes, it is broken.
There is one sign.
Yes, but that is very far away, way unattainable for us in this state. So you were correct in your analysis that we should go perhaps seek some tools.
I'm so sorry, Lauren. That's like it's like a few kilometers away on the surface, is what you're picking up. I assumed you were scanning the surface for places.
I
for
thought you
tools.
meant also space. Oh.
No, I'm so sorry.
Well,
if you're
never mind.
scanning this, sorry. Yes, I should have asked what you set the scanners to do. Sorry.
But that is correct. But I thought you meant it was okay. Sorry. Yes. It. However, you are correct. There was one indication of something. So that way we can.
Before we proceed,
Yes.
we should put out a distress beacon.
Well, are you sure that we want whatever's on this planet to find us, because they may be hostile, perhaps, to...
Yes, I agree. We don't know who is here, and I know this planet does not seem safe, so we may not want to attract attention.
Yes.
I'm wondering if on the Velderal ship they would have something that's just specific to them, so they can try to reach out to their other...
Of course. The trick is that it is hard to like beacons and things. It's hard to only see, but you could try to activate one. It just requires a tech roll. You would have to get. I think it would be difficult. They wouldn't make these easy. To activate this, you would need to roll an 18. Not a tech roll.
I mean, I might as well try.
That's the spirit.
Let's go for 666. I'm not even going to try a power cube on this one. No, I'm going to try 2 power cubes.
Oh!
So with 2 extra dice.
You know, every time I've rolled the dread die at 1, it's always been a 6 that I've had to take away, and I resent that.
Yeah, sorry. Well, one time
18.
it was a 18.
18.
Beautiful. No dread die shenanigans?
No.
Great.
No. Wait.
Is it a...
Yeah, no, 18. I'm sorry. I thought I had an extra dice, but no, 18. I thought there was
18.
one.
Yeah, well, and taste, that's why we spend the power cubes. You managed to activate a Velderal only beacon. You know, kind of like a thing that sort of pulses on a lower frequency, shouldn't be able to be picked up by other ships. So you put that out there.
Nice.
Good.
Should we leave Rawlings?
Well, unless you would like to sling him over your shoulder and carry him, I don't believe that it would be feasible to have him accompany us in his current state.
Agreed. We can move much faster without him.
Yes. Is there a way?
Don't think we should leave him behind. I can carry him.
Oh, yes, I forgot. You are very strong. Certainly, if you would like to carry an incapacitated body several kilometers, then you should.
I think that would be perhaps best.
So Dahlia, as you sort of climb up there, you do see like protocol, like Bernie's subsection weekend sort of activates in your thing, and you do collect Rawling's body, and you're seeing a lot of subroutines for like most effective ways, keep his visor like shaded, and like ways to pose him to make it look like he's alive, etc. There he goes.
Do you have
They
any
got it.
Hawaiian shirts or anything to put him in?
Just a visor hat. Yeah, exactly. So as you do that, so Dahlia, you kind of climb up there. He kind of like, I've seen infinity. We know whatever the hell he says. And as you sort of are pulling him down, you also see that up there still is the computer core.
Oh, yes. Can I grab that as well?
Take the computer core, take the Rawlings, and eventually kind of creeping down through the holes in the ice, the robot, human brain sexy robot lady comes down with a man over one shoulder and a computer core kind of like, slinging at her side.
Like it's no big deal. NBD.
Yeah.
That is very impressive. Elekie, she may be stronger than you.
And worthy of the warrior's praise.
I'm sorry, you said worthy, and I was immediately like, of Thor's hammer? Anyway. Praise? Praise, Dolly would like praise. It's so long since she's had any.
Dahlia's like, I will take that. Yeah, the aliens, the most they praise for you is they say, you are particularly charismatic. You are an effective tool that we could use.
Yeah. Dahlia will take the praise.
Wonderful. So, as Dahlia kind of with a...
like Tinkerbell.
A bit of a good vibe here. Yes, you all are now on this barren, rocky planet. And you're going to set out towards a beacon, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Great.
Affirmative.
Dahlia, you have a sense still that you are being watched from this world. But nevertheless...
and not in the, like, good way that I generally enjoy being watched.
Yeah, this is like a...
This is like creepy watching.
This is a creepy watch. This is like...
Okay.
This is like someone who isn't going to clap for you watching.
Tinkerbell dies if people don't clap for her.
She does. This is people who want Tinkerbell to die.
No!
Planet. So as you guys begin setting off across this sort of like kind of stony area, Elvatelli, you have the direction that you're going. So you guys start going, traveling. It takes about an hour of walking over this very uneven, ferrous-seeming surface. You don't really see anything for these, what do you walk at? What's a mile walk? Or how far do you walk? How many kilometers does an average person walk in an hour? I know that 3 miles is what you walk in an hour. That's like what a league is meant to be, like, that's literally that's the definition of kind of like at a casual walk.
Like 4?
5 km per hour.
Okay, there we go. Perfect. That tracks. So as you guys
5K? Really?
as you guys move about 5 kilometers, you do see ahead of you a blinking light indicating some sort of, as Elekie put it, civilization. This is a good distance away, maybe half a kilometer away at this point. 500 meters. So you can barely see that blink, blink. Would you guys like to adjust your approach, or are you going to just kind of walk up to it?
better to proceed with caution.
I will place myself in between the two strong beings that I am with.
with whom that I am standing with. As you do so, kind of like Dahlia, probably shifts Rawlings a bit, and his kind of head just kind of like leans towards you, and it almost is like his shoulders just give a shrug before he, falls back down. Weekend at Rawlings. So as you guys are going to try to sneak there, basically, just kind of low and.
Yeah. Oh, are my wings working?
Your wings are working, yes.
But can I hover as to not tread on anything? Or wait, may I analyze my surroundings to see if it would be more disturbing if I fluttered?
Apparently, moths are incredibly good at hovering, according to a very quick Google search called "Can Moths Hover?" So I'm going to say that you don't even need to roll that. You know that you can pretty easily just kind of,
Well, I will.
Very good. All right, so as you sort of hover up there, if you guys are sneaking forward, can everybody please roll a sneak roll? That is a physical roll if you do not have a special skill in it.
Oh, dear. Ooh.
But you should get one bonus on that. Take one extra die on that because you are hovering. Let's
Thank
give
you.
it that.
Ooh. Oh, no.
What did you roll? Oh, wait, did you roll a 5?
13.
All right.
Second.
All right,
I was
Laura.
so happy about it, too.
All right, Lauren.
Yes.
So the good news is it's a pretty good stealthy job. How did Alekia and Dahlia do on their stealths with 4D?
15.
15?
40.
40.
Ooh, 10, 15, 18.
Alrighty. Lauren, can you please roll this? Give me a 13. Give me a 13. This would be so bad.
In jail.
Give me a 13. Don't put it in jail.
God, if we get a fucking horror surge.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna. Okay. Don't be bad. 2.
Okay.
Hey! No horror surge.
So,
Back in jail.
we're just one more past the beautiful vibe on at 5. Beautiful. All right, so, you guys sort of hover, and for the most part, you're sort of being pretty stealthy. As you sort of sneak forward, kind of trying to get a sense of it without, kind of staying a little low, a little unassuming. Alekia, actually, all of you have pretty decent vision. Alekia, I think yours is the best by literally just by 1. But Dahlia's is right under. You have a +1 pip to it, but Dahlia's is just below it, and Alelto's not far behind that. So kind of Alekia first, but all of you soon see that there appears to be a research station of some kind. You see that the beacon is on a transmitting tower. Next to it is it might be a mining facility. It looks to be a very small area, just kind of 2 temporary, like tented assemble, like prefab things where you just hit it and kind of just like instant room. You see sort of 2 of those adjoining, a couple of other pieces of equipment and generators, and there's this one blinking beacon. That is what you sort of see at a distance. Still,
Since I am a robot, am I able to pick up on whatever they might be transmitting?
Make a sense roll.
Okay. Sense is where? I can't find these.
It's it's under dreadful, and it's
so if I don't have a score, it's just whatever my
it's
dreadful
just you
score.
use your dreadful, yeah.
Okay. Alright. God damn it! Rolled a 1 on that stupid die. 8.
You all you're getting is sort of static, and to be perfectly honest, Dahlia, like we'll say that this is due to,
I hate this, by the way, because I rolled a 6 that I had to get rid of.
As you sort of as you sort of like try to like reach out and like as you sort of do that, you it really is that. Listen, you speak a lot of languages. You're a very talented actor. At no point did you think learning binary was important.
Damn it.
You know? So you just, it's hard for you to get, like, other robots will occasionally walk up to you and be like, you know, like, pew, 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 pew,
In Dalia's
like,
defense, computers were, like, not even a thing.
they were not even a thing. It
hurts
the
my
degree to which it's not even a thing. So, unfortunately, you don't have a good sense of it. What is everyone doing? Are you guys gonna carry on with your sneaking? I'll let you use the same rolls. You've kind of gotten this far.
Does the facility look abandoned?
Make a sense roll.
Ah.
All you kind of see is the facility. So if you're trying to see more, you got to make rolls.
So upsetting.
Throw this die away. 3. I rolled a 3. I rolled a 1 on the dread die. This
Heck.
is evil.
Fucking evil.
Remind me when we end that I actually want to briefly talk about the system a little bit, since now we've done a few sessions of it. So with that, Elekie, anything you want to do? Elatella and Dahlia, they're trying to sort of get more information before they go up. They can't really sense anything.
How far away are we
It's like
from it?
couple football fields. I'll put it in that sort of term, you know, like under you know, like third of a kilometer, 300 meters, something like that.
I want to. I knew that this was a potentially dangerous place, so I want to sense for danger.
Okay, make a. I guess just make also a sense roll. Just make a. You know, do you spot anyone there?
11. Oh wait. 12.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot my +1.
You see a little bit of movement. It is largely one of the prefab buildings seems to be like torn open and is like there's not really a breeze, so to speak, but one of the it's moving as if it's in the wind, but you don't feel any wind. But you guys basically see kind of like a heavy duty plastic sheet like fluttering on the far side of one of the buildings.
I cannot sense much, but feel we must proceed.
Great.
Let's.
So as you all sort of creep forward, Elatella slightly hovering, Elekie walking, Dahlia carrying a guy in a thing, you come upon this facility, this temporary sort of encampment. You don't see anyone here. And Elekie, you see that there is part of the building seems to have been like ripped or torn open, and it is like fluttering in some sort of strange facility. There also is a bit, or like a strange fashion. There's also a bit of like debris and detritus and like things from inside. This appears to be, to your reckoning, this actually looks like a corporate site. This looks like the corporation that you're allied with, more than likely. You see a few of their icons on stuff. Though it may just be that they manufacture the equipment. But you sort of see, you know, like broken pieces of computers and ration packs and things just kind of like strewn near this torn open.
Is it the Wayland Corporation?
It is not Wayland Yutani. It is Arlington Grith, is what this it's called in this thing. But I mean, is it very similar to the Wayland Yutani Corporation? I mean, listen, we don't have to get into that.
Yeah, figured that out. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Was Annette Young meant to be Paul Reiser? Kind of. You weren't here the sessions he was around, but the point is, you know.
You know.
It appears to be an Arlington Grith facility. We must search for items that can salvage our ship.
Well, yes. Isn't that what we came here for? I do appreciate you clarifying the mission, though. Clarification and ensuring that we are all on the same page is very important and vital to accomplishing the mission.
I walk away as she's talking to go forward.
And is important.
So where do you want to go? There are a couple of like door portals that have been built. There's also this open hole that has been, you know, sort of torn
I'd like to go in through the open hole.
That's always my.
Yeah, you would.
Just always take it to the hole. Isn't that the basketball thing? He takes it to the
Go
hole.
to the open hole. We all like an open hole.
Find the open hole and just hope it
And
stays
open
open.
it.
Doesn't like to pop into an open hole.
And step through it.
I mean,
Whatever you want to call it.
All right. So as you just sort of peek your head in, just kind of massage your head in, Elekie, and your tentacles. Oh, whoa! Now we got all sorts of stuff going here. Elekie, as you sort of reach this area, you look inside and you see that what is causing that fluttering is like a desk fan that is kind of on a little desk that is just blowing back and forth.
I turn it off.
You step in, turn it off. The fluttering of that sort of plastic siding instantly ceases.
Creepy.
I want to look around the room.
Elekie, you are looking in a modestly sized little office. There is a door across from you that is partially ajar. It's like they're not automatic doors, but you just turn a thing and they open from the front, kind of like not blast doors, but secure airlocky doors. And you just crank them, and it is partially ajar.
Prior, I would like to look within the room to see if there's anything of value or anything that can be a clue of some sort for what happened here.
Understood. Make a mental roll for that, unless you have investigate or something.
Can I peek in and say, have you found any tools yet to fix the ship? We're just looking around. Very well. Okay.
7.
You're not even sure what kind of office this was. These humans and these other kinds of aliens are they're not good warriors. And quite frankly, a lot of Velderal for that matter, not good warriors. You see no weapons, you see no prizes, prizes. You see no large stuffed animals that prove you were the strongest one at the intergalactic fair. You see nothing.
Useless. I would like to proceed cautiously toward the ajar door.
Okay.
And see if I can sense anything on the other side.
Wonderful. You kind of make your way to the ajar door, make a sense roll as you kind of look through and peer.
Nice. I got an exploding die.
Hey.
17.
17. It's pretty good. It's certainly into the... You look through, this chamber seems fairly dark. No lighting was in the chamber you were just in, or this one, but with your sort of sharpening your eyes, getting whatever latent light is coming in through the windows and the stars shining down. You see a sort of corridor leading to a few other rooms that look like offices. A couple of their doors are open, but most are closed. At the far side of the chamber, you see a pair of blast doors that have been sealed and locked from this side. There seems to be something sort of written hastily over those doors in what looks like black paint. With a 17 at this distance, you cannot quite read it, but it's big black lettering, and it seems like it's saying something about like trust. You're not sure. You'll need to get closer to see it, even with a 17.
I tell the group back, I will proceed further.
Well.
But you with a 17, as you kind of mentioned that, with a 17, you actually do see one other thing. Laying in the middle of the ground ahead of you. You see a corpse.
Hi.
or at first you think it might have just been a piece of debris, but then you realize it is a corpse. There is a... I'm really glad I'm introducing these guys to you in this sense. There is a rather strange race of aliens. They're called the Tivwithet. And I am now going to put their name both into Twitch chat and into our chat, because I decided to start using even weirder symbols. Those are the Tivwithet.
Oh!
I'll also put it into your guys' chat over here. The Tivwithet are these very strange, sort of spiny, almost sea urchin-like creatures. They move around on these numerous, like sharp spines that they have. They are notable for having multiple planes of symmetry. They are a rather strange species.
Are
sort of
they
shuffle
about
about.
the golden ratio?
They do not. Oh, maybe they should exist with a golden ratio. No, I think they're more like planar. I think it's more about like radial symmetry and stuff.
Okay.
I think it's more about like
I
having
will complicate this if you bring up symmetry.
Yeah. Would it be golden ratio? We'll get to that later. And whatever this one was, though, it's hard to see. This one looks like it was...
Are they fractals?
They are not fractals.
Okay.
No. They're much more like... They're almost crystalline. But this Tivwithet is also like... Many of its like spines are like broken. This thing was definitely blasted a few times.
Do I know what a Tivwithet is?
You would know a Tivwithet. Believe me, you'd know a Tivwithet.
I see a corpse. A Tivwithet has died.
Do we know what a Tivwithet is?
Dahlia, you probably do not know what a Tivwithet is. We'll tell you what, make a mental roll. Let's see if you saw that in any databases. That's just 2D for UD.
Okay, mental roll is just 2 though.
2, sadly just 2.
7. Oh wait, do I get a +1? No,
Probably not.
I don't. That's for laser items only.
I think I wrote Tivwithet backwards. I think it's T:(VWV:(T). Because this would be Tauvidwit.
Oh yeah, it should be
Tivwithet.
T:(V). Doesn't get for making such a stupid language.
I
With it.
did not
With it.
make
That's
a
called a
stupid
carrot?
language. But that's what they look like. Tivwithet.
That's called a carrot, by the way?
I think so.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's
I
like
was
not
called-
like a carrot, it's like a carrot. Right? Anyway.
I don't know.
It's
I just did the same thing
C-A-R-E-T.
you- Wait. Oh, okay.
C-A-R-E-T. I think that's how it's pronounced. I know things.
Yeah, didn't know that.
There you go.
Thought it was a thing.
There is a Tivwithet on the ground. There is a locked door with something written on it. You could go closer and read it if you wanted to.
I proceed.
Okay, you kind of step into this corridor. Begin walking across, your feet echoing on the sort of cold metallic surface of this seemingly abandoned station. As you get closer to the door, what has been written on it says, "Trust the Shroud." And below that is a sort of very quick, kind of just sort of bad, just like blobby sort of shape that has been drawn, almost kind of, it looks sort of like a draped piece of fabric has just been like painted quickly in black hastily on that door.
I say out loud to myself, trust the shroud.
Do I hear that?
Mm-hmm.
I have been. The shroud. Do I know about the shroud? Is the shroud a familiar thing to me? Especially considering.
Go ahead and please do a recall information. For you, that is 4D. Shrek 4D.
I'm assuming I'm not. You know, my Dread die has been in jail, so it better behave.
You put your dread die in jail? I really think jailing dice is a bad idea.
Well, I don't care. And it was a great idea because it rolled a 6. It learned its lesson.
Wonderful.
8, 10, so 16, and then I rolled the die again, right?
Mm-hmm. You do.
Plus 4, so 20.
20. You have actually heard of the Shroud. Annette Young thought it was like some like front for a labor union, some kind of like political thing that wasn't deeming itself a labor union, so it was a way for them to like, you know, like unionize, and so she was trying to shut down people talking about it. But you never found people like actively organizing it. It seems like a very secretive organization. But it definitely is something that was that Arlington Grith, you know, sort of what do they call them? Cast members, Arlington Grith employees. There are some who were members of it. So as far as you, with a 20, you've heard of it. You seem to recall it being some kind of like odd political organization, perhaps, or maybe just a weird secret society, or maybe it's just like a you know, like a gaming group, and they're just kind of edgy. You're not sure.
Are you familiar with the Shroud, Elekier?
Do I need to roll?
I think it's unlikely you would be.
I am not.
It is an organization that I'm not overly familiar with, but are a part of things that I would suspect may be covered up by a large corporation for which I worked. And before I say anything further, would I suspect that they would do shady things? Because
your understanding of the Shroud, you do not think the Shroud is a huge thing. It might be a labor organization. It might be you just don't know enough about it. It seems to be some kind of secretive organization. They don't seem to have taken huge political action, so it was never a major focus of your girl.
Okay. It is very secretive, and I do not have a lot of information on it, which is saying something because I do have a lot of information about a lot of things because I do tend to analyze very much.
It seems fanatical to write this on a door in such a way.
Yes, and considering it is a blast door that has been closed from... can I surmise that it has been closed from our side?
It has been locked from this side.
Okay.
I'm going to also ask here, Dahlia.
Yes.
What are you? So they've gone into a hole in the side of the building, and now they've walked through that. You have Rawlings over one shoulder, a thing. Are you following them? Are you setting them down in an office? What, are you still standing outside? What's the plan?
It would feel unwise to leave this unconscious being and this very important piece of technology unobserved. Can I survey the land around the camp where we are at, since the beings are inside?
Absolutely. Go ahead and do a mental roll. Now, did you give yourself your power cubes that you found at the
I did.
Okay, cool. So if you want to throw a power cube on there, you could, because I know you have a lower mental
yes.
For everything but performance, which you're very high at.
I'm very high at performance, but has not come in handy yet. All right, I will go ahead and use one power cube.
Then can I act like I'm looking around?
Act like I know what I'm doing.
You will convince everyone you do in that case.
14.
14's pretty good. Yeah, it's kind of like moderate, a moderate degree of success here. You kind of sort of. You do see some signs of struggle. You see a few like ray gun bursts on the ground on the side of the area. The fact that this thing was ripped open is sort of trouble. Are you gonna do a full perimeter sweep, or are you just kind of staying in this?
Yeah, I'm doing a full perimeter sweep.
On the
Something
far side,
I'm familiar with from a role I played where we went to war.
As you sort of make your way around to the side, kind of going, you've basically gone to the far back side of sort of where this was. You do actually see two bodies. One is a human. Roll a d12. I'll say the other one's a random alien.
get to roll a non-d6.
Yeah, that's crazy.
With it.
Oh my god.
I mean, it could be another tip with
Fine.
it if you roll your cards right.
D12, found one. 4.
4.
I'm surprised it was not a D13.
It's 2 humans.
It's 2 humans.
Uh,
Oh no.
yeah. It's 2 humans. So there's just 2 dead humans.
2 dead
And
humans
they
on
don't
the-
have their bubbles on because they can breathe out here, but they were in like full suits. One of them's actually wearing a more like military. Looks like they were like a corporate marine or something.
So there's Tivwibbits and humans.
Tivwibbits and humans.
And I have found dead humans. I'm
You
not
found 2
aware.
humans. You maybe
of
heard
dead
them talk about Tivwibbits before
Okay.
you started walking. If
So there's
he called it out.
So would I assume then the humans and the Tivwibbits were fighting?
Make an insight roll. You haven't seen the Tivwibbit, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Insight would be 4.
4D.
So what does Tivwibbit look like again?
They're imagine like kind of crystalline but still alive like sea urchins, just with like spikes up in all directions, but the spikes are arranged in sort of like even clusters, and they do have sort of a central band around the center of them.
Okay. Oh, right. The symmetry.
I should draw a
Okay.
picture of a Tivwibbit for you.
12. I rolled a 12.
Oh, their eyes and mouths are around their central band, and then they have 16 spines going up at the top of the bottom of them. And they can go on either, like they can turn over and back at stuff without a problem. That was a 12, you said?
Yes.
The positioning of these 2 means maybe they shot each other? These 2 humans? You think, though, that the humans, they're both wearing the same uniforms, but you think they shot each other, Dahlia. You think
The
they
humans shot each other.
Yeah, you think they were at odds.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't have any idea why.
With a 12, you assume it was just love or money or just one drink too many. Because that's
Humans
what it is
are
in all your
always
plays.
killing each other.
Yeah.
It's very irrational. I used to be irrational, more irrational. Less so now.
Great. So, the other thing you see back there, Dahlia, is that
Yes.
sort of like beyond this station.
Mhm.
Turning and looking in the distance. The stars seem a little bit wavy. So does the ground, even. Something seems wrong. Everything there seems a little like... Make a sense roll for me. That's 4D.
4? Okay. Thank you for telling me, so I don't have to look at the chart. And 16.
16. That I think just gets you to the sort of difficult thing. Dahlia, you think that there's some kind of distortion happening on a rather massive scale, maybe another kilometer from where you are. The stars themselves are shifting only like for maybe like 10-15 degrees. Once you look up, everything seems fine, but like that sort of like 10-15 degree field of vision, the stars are like wow, wow, and even the ground below them is kind of just like it's like a little fuzzy, a little out of something's wrong.
So, do I have any idea what could be causing this distortion?
Make an analyze roll. That's a technical, or that's a mental for you. That's 2D. Did you roll a 1 on the dread die?
I did.
You have, in that case, but here we'll make it sort of. So as you look at that,
I rolled a 1 on the other die as well. It was literally snake eyes.
So the highest was a 1, which you removed, yeah. So as you sort of look at all of that, Dahlia, you just don't know what could be causing that, but you get this absolutely horrific shiver down your spine. Something is deeply wrong. Whatever that bad feeling, and maybe even that sense of being watched that you were feeling, is coming from there. Elekie, as you and Elutella stand at this door, discussing this shroud, wondering what is in this place, you hear a thump on the other side of the door. And then, after a moment, and that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Whew. Nice. Nice.
Damn it!
Rude! Yay! Hey, we said, sometimes it's cool to end on like a weird cliffhanger, and maybe Rawlings will be like, "All right, I'm better now. I was just passed out. You don't have to carry me anymore." Actually, on second thought, Dahlia, keep carrying me.
Rawlings would want to be carried by a robot woman.
He would. Well, that was a fun one. I'm actually going to ask my players a quick question here on stream before we move on. So now that we've done this, how do you guys like this system, this D6 system?
It's very simple, but I don't like that I have so many rolls where I just get
Do you wish you could spend do you wish you could spend your rocket your power cubes? I keep forgetting what I call them, power cubes. Do you wish you could spend your power cubes to re-roll when you roll a 1 on the dread die? Would that help things? No?
No, it's fun. We hate it, but we love it at the same time.
Yeah, it's infuriating.
Yeah.
I will say
it adds an element of fun.
I will say that how do I phrase this? Having it happen literally, mathematically speaking, a sixth of the time does feel like mean. But I guess the corollary to that is that 1/6 of the time you guys roll 6s and throw so much extra on top of it.
Well, so that trade-off makes sense. I just wish I weren't restricted to 2.
Yes, I can understand that. Well, in that case, we should I may.
No, aside from the math, I like the system.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah,
It's
you.
simple. It's easy, which makes it nice.
Very.
I have a hard time with numbers.
Zane, what do you think of this one? This D6
Math
system?
is hard.
I like whatever system we're playing.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
really, and I like that we're jumping from system to system.
Ooh,
And
and
the
it's-
exploding
Pushing the systems.
die is fun.
In a space situation, it's cool because system means like different planets and stars. But guys, enough about different planets and stars. I want to thank everyone for playing tonight. This was super fun. If you like what we do on this channel, I would say please follow us and subscribe if you can, or you can use if you link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you do get 1 free subscription. Please use it for us or for somebody, but don't just let it lie fallow, which is a farming term if memory serves. I think I'm using it basically right. And
That's a great word,
you
Philip.
do have to use it every month. You have to reactivate your free one every month, which is kind of weird. But yeah, so please do that for us if you're able to. I'll also say we have some really fun other games going on. If you like sci-fi with a slightly horror tinge, you should definitely check us out on Sunday and Monday nights for our Star Wars game. On Sundays, we have Luminous Beings. On Mondays, we have Crude Matter. The gimmick there is that it is 1 game, 2 nights a week, where it's 8 players in only 4 bodies. They sort of switch off at the end of each session. Like they take over for the other ones. I'm like, oh no, what trouble did those people get us into? Super fun stuff, so definitely check that out on Sunday. Lauren plays in that one on Sunday nights on Luminous Beings. And it is wonderful. And then on Tuesdays, we have Grey in the Dark, our noir game. So check that out. And then definitely be back next week for our 52nd
Yay!
1 year of this game. Another multiple of 13. I always do something crazy for those. I'm so excited. You know what actually is kind of the craziest about that? That means that it was 6 months ago, Liv, that we did the solo session for you.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Because that was session 26.
Wow. Wait, when is session live?
That is 2 weeks after that. Session, yeah, and then 2 weeks after that, we'll do something fun with Liv somehow, because
June
that
3rd?
will be, no, June, it would be the week after that, right?
June 10th.
Yeah.
My birthday month. Okay, cool. But then, all right, I just need to make sure I have that day blocked off for
Yeah,
sure.
be here for that.
I will be here for that.
Because that was just, we got to tell you for Liv because the Roman numeral is LIV. That's what's going on there. So yeah, but thank you,
Movable.
everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Do we have any other things to talk about or mention?
I did want to give a shout out to Commodore 6342. You know who you are, for resubscribing this evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
5
Also,
months.
thank you for everybody from my TikTok for coming over.
Oh,
Hi.
hello TikTokers. Hey,
And
did you
for
guys?
those of you who are in both places,
And it's TikTok because you must have on your For You page you must have heard a new sound, and someone was.
that's
I know so much
that's,
about
that's it.
TikTok.
That's it. You
And
mastered it.
did you know there's a new thing? You guys have heard about tweeting, right? You know what they let you do now?
The
It's called
tweeters?
retweeting. What you do is you take somebody else's tweet and you're like, boom, I'm gonna.
No.
Oh my god, you can retweet a tweet. You can
Revolutionary.
resend
Also, this one's crazy. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of the most cutting edge social network. It's called the Facebook. And it's got this thing called groups, and let me tell you, it's all the rage. You know what's sad? Groups were what Facebook was about in like 2004 when it first came
Oh,
to
for
my
sure.
phone.
Oh yeah.
Groups
sure.
were melting people's brains.
Groups
Like
for
that's
everything.
all anyone wanted to do. They were like, "How many groups are you in?" And I said, "I'm not on that. They're tracking your data." Guess who was right?
You know what though? All of my advertisements are exactly like things that I.
They're
would
really
look
good.
for, so-
They're really
I
on point.
mean, it's helpful,
Oh my god.
but rude also.
Well, in any case, but thank you all so much for watching. Go to our About page to find out about these wonderful players. Go to our Discord. We post recaps, do all that fun stuff there. I think we will leave it there for the evening. See you next time. And until then, have a dreadful